Small fish? Nope. So the benefit of doing this 2 large fish thing was that I would get more runs started. Because if I go for some crazy amount of fish, it's going to take me forever to get to... you can, technically, Laklika, but it's like, you're talking instead of waiting until 10, you're talking about waiting until 5 p.m. And, like, the time doesn't pass that quickly. You'd go forage, you'd put the stuff in the bin, you'd wait for 5 p.m., and then you'd go into Rick's, and then you'd buy it, and like it's technically doable, but it's still waiting. Too large. Three large. Three large, 1 medium. Now we're hitting that period of the day where nothing bites at all. Two minutes. I think we can do something with this. Because we traded 40 seconds of fishing for a whole day, I think. What do I need? I don't need that berry. My last items are all going to be a berry. Because I have 5 fish, so I need 3 berries. Or, I'm sorry, 3 medicinal herbs and 1 berry. Take that berry. Alright, so we have to do some math here. So that's 7 stumps. And then it was 1, 2, 3 large, 1, 2 medium, 1, 2, 3, and 1 berry. I don't know if that's enough to cut out that last day of foraging. I actually don't think it is. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take out a fishing pole. And we're going to try to catch another large or medium tomorrow. Even if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I only need like 1 or 2 fish. And that's actually fine, because we're gonna dog Karen today anyway. And if it was raining, we wouldn't be able to. So I would love to catch 2. I would love to catch anything. That's a medium. Two mediums. That is not what I wanted. But it's not the end of the world. Well, it is great Laclica, but I'm only replacing edible herbs with, so I'm not gaining as much as you would think, because I'm replacing other items with fish. So, what was that? Two medium. One, two, 3 berries. One, two, 3. Medicinal. And 1 edible? Is that right? Ooh, you know what? I screwed up. We're gonna lose a little bit of time here, but it'll be worth it to get the extra money. Yeah, you're right. Like, that actually could totally work. So we're just gonna sell that just so I can have hands for the dog. Yeah, we barely made it. Alright, Laclica. We have to be very careful because if we dog her and it goes too late, then we won't be able to clear her ankle event. So we can't have these, like, delays between dialogue boxes. They have to be, like, pretty tight. Oh, that was bad. That's not good. If the cellar's locked, we're in trouble. Well, not really trouble. We'll just have to come up here another day to trigger her scene, but we'll lose time. It's gonna be close. You can see it's starting to get pretty dark. Alright, I think that cleared it. Hard to tell. I kind of want to poke my head up there. We'll operate under the assumption that it did clear the ankle event. Cypher, I did. I've had two runs now, pretty close together, where I got all the way to the day of proposal and she didn't appear, so just really bad luck. We're trying something a little different this time around, so maybe it'll work out. That's exactly what it is. My prayers have gone unanswered. Okay, so I'm gonna click the X and the full forage button. But I think my money might be off, and we won't really know until tomorrow, because last night I missed the shipper. Yeah, Cypher, you pretty much nailed it. The only thing is that there's a hidden requirement for the blue feather, and that hidden requirement is that you need a kitchen. So we have to forage a lot more and chop a lot more lumber than we would otherwise, because we need to build that kitchen quickly. Okay. The Karen route is the one that we recommend to everybody when they're interested in the game, because it It's shorter than the rest, and, you know, it's a lot less to manage. Find Karen, give her the dog 220 times, build a kitchen, propose. It's pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to be completely shocked if my money's right on. So when I go to sell later on, if I should have 2280, but I think I messed up a click or two. So we'll have to try to figure that out. I mean, it's Karen, dude. She could take it. She's been getting the dog for years. Alright, I hope I have 2280. I do, wow. I'm fairly impressed with the tool and my ability to use it. I just highly recommend this game for casual playthroughs. It's amazing. There's so much to do. I mean, some people knock marriage speedruns of this game because there's so much foraging and lumber that a lot of the days in the middle kind of look the same. But as far as a casual game, this game is like unmatched. It's probably one of the best Harvest Moons that they've made. Yeah, this is by far my favorite Harvest Moon, and you know, it's not necessarily the hottest speed game ever, but I like it. Cypher, I highly recommend you try out All Photos. That's my next big project, and I'm truly not looking forward to it because it's hard. Yeah, no, I mean, Pokezell, you're not even that far off. Like, people will come in and be like, didn't you just do this exact same thing yesterday? And then I have to be like, oh, yeah, like, the next 10 days are all going to be the same exact foraging and lumber route. And people just leave. And it's like, I completely get where they're coming from. I don't watch speedruns of this for fun, you know what I mean? I watch it for, like, the routing, just to see what other people are doing. But, yeah, there's definitely the middle portion of the run where I put that shit on 2x speed, or I'll just skip to the end. I'll never lie to anybody and be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing technical speed game ever. I just think it's a lot of fun, and I like routing it. Click. Well, and that's the thing. I'm a grinder too. I don't know if you ever played World of Warcraft, but I played it quite a bit in my younger years, and I was like a notorious rep grinder. Reputation grinder. It's not plausible for this run, Cypher. Your main limiting factor is not actually money, it's lumber. So, like, if you could get lumber very quickly, then planting would be the fastest money. Well, fishing is the fastest money, but planting would be the fastest consistent money. The only problem with it is you can make as much money as you want. If you don't have the lumber, you can't make the kitchen. And also, for planting, you have to spend money to make money. So you can't just start the game and go buy 10 packs of seeds and get planting. You have to forage or fish to have enough money to buy seeds to then start planting it and making money back. So it's not really viable for the marriage category at the very least. Which is unfortunate, because that's an aspect of the game that I actually like a lot. You cannot buy lumber. The only thing you can do is you can win lumber by using medals from the horse and dog races. But you'd have to get a bunch of medals, and then you'd have to go to the dog race in winter. And it actually just takes longer. I've done runs where I'll forage my money, and then I'll go to the dog race, and I'll use the betting glitch to get enough metals to buy the 500 lumber there. But it ends up being slower, like considerably slower, because you have to sleep all the way till winter. As far as all photos goes, I'm doing attempts periodically, not very often, because it's such a daunting task. But Odd Tom is also looking at doing attempts of it. Whichever one of us ends up doing it, we're going to, I don't want to say easily, but like we'll probably be able to get like a 7.5 hour time. Like, you're right, the current run is pretty it's pretty unoptimized. The thing is that the last photo is so hard to get that like just getting it is an achievement in itself. Especially when you're getting all the photos before the evaluation period. That's like absurdly hard to do. Yeah, the betting glitch is really cool. I wish we had a chance to use it more often. All Photos uses it a lot, but that's because the run is so long. And it's the best way by far to get lumber. Because, believe it or not, well, I guess it's not hard to believe for Harvest Moon, but one of the photos is getting all of the house attachments, which means you need a truckload of lumber and $1 million. No, I didn't figure out the betting glitch as a kid. I know, though, that I looked it up when I was younger. Like, I got this game around the same time that like the internet was starting to be a thing. So I remember looking up a ton of stuff for this game, and I figured out the betting glitch that way. Because back then, game FAQs was a thing. Yes, we do. Between me and Odd Tom, we have a whole bunch of literature for all photos. I actually contacted Mr. Weebles, who's like the only one that we know of that's ever even completed the run. And he gave me a lot of stuff to work with, too. What's up, Frozen Penguin? How's it going, dude? So, yeah, you know, Frozen, if you haven't heard the news, Angelwork swooped in, stole my Karen record that I held for like 2 straight years, beat me by 20 seconds, so this is what my weekend is gonna look like. Welcome to the grind. I mean, we've had a few runs now that have looked pretty good. This run actually is looking decent, so we'll see. What is DMW2? The only thing I can think of is Dragon Warrior Monsters, but that would be DWM. What is DMW? Digimon World, okay. I mean, I would absolutely love it if you, me, and Odd Tom could all complete all photos runs, because for how cool it is, it's like criminally underplayed, and it's just because it's so hard. If I actually don't know, Frozen, like I've never submitted it because I know Twitch chat would eat me alive, dude. Like, oh my god, this shit is so boring. Like, how can anybody sit through there? How does this guy even play this? Yeah, so the hard thing about all photos is that, like Karaoke says, it's extremely tight. Like, every day has a purpose, and if you fall behind, you're just not going to complete some of the requirements in time. You need to get all the girl photos before the 2nd year, because you need to marry somebody in the 2nd year, because you need the baby photo and all this stuff. It's like, it's very, very hard. I know, I would just hate to watch the run back and just see, you know, scrolling walls of the Resident Sleeper emote. I would need, that's the other problem, is I would need to make sure that I had people going who knew the game, like, very well. Because that's the only thing that could liven up the game, is if we had people, very knowledgeable people, talking about the game and how the game has been, you know, ripped apart by this guy Kirby Arm, who is the only reason that we know half the stuff we know about the game. Like, he basically sat there and got every affection value for every item, for every person, over the span of, like, years. Like, you'd have to craft, you know, you'd have to craft, like, a good story to tell, because, you know, I can't just be like, oh, and now for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be doing the same exact route to forage and get some lumber. And then we all just sit there in silence while I do it. Yeah, even to this day, when I don't know something, I immediately go to one of his guides, and I always find the answer, like, immediately. I have not... So the thing about Stardew is that I like it a lot. I like the way it looks. I've played it a little bit on Switch, but I have not streamed it yet because... I don't know, I'm nervous to do it because everybody knows so much about Stardew Valley and I know very, very little. That was horrible movement. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I would want to craft some, like, extremely extravagant, like, talk about, like, we have, you know, if it was a Karen run, like, we have 40 minutes. That's plenty of time to talk about the entire game front to back, and then also maybe a little bit about, like, oh, when we first started, like, the runs were, you know, an hour, and now they're 40 minutes. Like, isn't that cool? Frozen, I will. I'll play it on stream. Maybe actually tomorrow, depending on how Karen goes. Because I really want to get this record back, but then we'll see. Okay, so what was that? That was everything but the berry at the top, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I need 300. And I also get to order the kitchen today. Right, like I'm gonna keep doing these stupid Karen runs until I can string together something that isn't horrible. Thank you. Let's just poke in here to get this. Don't block the door. Thank you. Yeah, like, the record right now is way more important to me than playing Stardew Valley. Oh, Automod didn't like you saying the word bitch, Frozen Penguin. No, I don't care what you say, Frozen Penguin. It doesn't bother me at all. Karen is a bitch. I'm gonna do a quick money check and also a day check. So we're good on money. This is the 17th. Okay, so okay, this is bad. This is really bad. So it rained on the Thursday that we were supposed to propose. So now we're back to hoping that she's available on Friday, the day we buy the feather. So this is exactly the same as we did it the past 4 runs, where we've had heartbreaking endings where she didn't appear. So it doesn't mean the run's over, but it means the run has a very good chance to be over. Yeah, so no fish time save today. We were slightly off. But if she appears by the carpenter or at the beach, it's still going to be a good time. Thank you. Raise your blue feathers. Come on, Karen. You hooker. She's not here. Oh, she's here! Oh, get off my farm, Basil, you stupid asshole. 40-20. King Recycle, you can't just talk shit about Karen. And then rain the next day, too. We did it. We dogged her. Now we're gonna dog her every night for eternity.